Welcome back to Modern Homestead Alaska. Today is Sunday as part of our Every Bit Counts challenge that we are doing this month. I'm headed back into my basement. We have a lot going on. Aaron is smoking a bunch of meat to get into the freezer and for dinner tonight. And him and Caleb are putting siding on our wood shed so that we will have some wood heat this winter. So I'm gonna head into the basement. Why don't you join me? Here is what we have already started on this morning. Welcome to our vlog. We are the Milnes family. We started building a modern homestead outside of Wasilla, Alaska in the summer of 2021. That's my husband, Aaron. I am Jessica, a stay-at-home wife and mom. Our second son, Caleb, lives here with us, along with our daughter, Cody Ann, and the youngest of our family, Wyatt. We brought our two dogs, Tipper and Daisy, and got a new addition, the Alaska dog, Roberto.
On my pork butt.
Are you?
Try something new. So what we have today is a pork shoulder, pork butt. Some people call it different things. This package decided to call it both. It is a, what do we have here? Looks like 16 pounds, and we have it for $36.94 is what we paid for it at Costco here in Alaska. These are the boneless ones. They're not my favorite ones to play with. I like the bone in. They're held in together. They're on the bone. Instead of this, they've made the big cuts, removed the bones, and they kind of tend to want to fall apart more on you when I'm smoking it. Still doable, still can do it, but I prefer the bone-in pork butts first. So we're gonna take this thing today. I'm gonna cut it open and we'll get started on it, show you how to season it, and then we'll get it on the smoker. It's probably gonna take 6 hours, probably about 6 hours to smoke it. We're running about 275. That's what my pit barrel runs pretty averagely. Yeah, I think today I'm gonna smoke this with some cherry wood and just let it enjoy it, and then we'll have a great meal afterwards. So follow along. Thanks. So here you can see this is the boneless ones. They cut out the shoulder blade here, and see how these things, now it's just basically two chunks of meat here almost, and they fall apart when I'm smoking. If the shoulder was in here, it was still attached to the bone. This would be all nice and tight. Be one big chunk of meat, and it's a lot easier to handle. It's a lot easier to do. The only benefit is I guess I can get a little more seasoning in these areas instead of not having it there. It is one really big chunk of meat, and all you're doing is seasoning the outside, so they can take a lot of seasoning, but as you can see how they would fall apart. So today I'm just going to use some yellow mustard for the binder. I like using it. It doesn't, like I said in the last video, it does not affect the flavor profile at all. So even if you're not a big fan of mustard, you're not going to taste it. Okay. These pork butts, trimmed off a little bit of the fat here. I need some fat on there to kind of keep juices, and people don't like to hear it, but fat is flavor, so it's really not that bad. It's got good marbling in here, got good fat content. It's gonna go, that stuff will render out, most of it will render out during the cook, and it goes in and makes all the juices in your meat. It's gonna be a really good chunk of meat when we're done with it. Then the big part, trimmed off some of it, but even if you do leave it a little thick, when you're done, you pull your meat back out, you'll have a big layer of fat on the bottom that you can just get rid of. It doesn't just fall apart, it'll come off in a big sheet, and you can get rid of it there. Back to the mustard. This is where the messy, fun part, I don't know if it's fun, but messy part. You don't need a lot. Just wanna make sure all sides are got it on there. So we're using pit barrels. Oh man.
All purpose.
Yes, thank you. All-purpose pit rub. I do have it in an everything bagel container, so don't get confused. Jessica is, you know, everything's more important for Jessica. I get the scraps that are left over here. So we'll go with that today. Sounds good, right? I said this is probably the only benefit to them being cut apart, in my opinion. Once again, in my opinion, it's just I can get a little more spices on here. I am going to give it a little extra with Meat Church's Holy Gospel. I'm pretty fond of this rub. Just not as heavy this time with this one, but I am going to give it a little extra of this just to give it a different flavor.
Right?
Now we got it seasoned the way we want. So right now I'm going to clean up a little bit here, go get the smoker rolling. I'm going to let this sit for probably 20-30 minutes, let it start sweating, let those spices really adhere to build the bark I'm looking for. So it looks like look at it, looks like a beautiful piece of meat going to come out. It's going to be pretty dang tasty. So the nice part about smoking something like this size every weekend or so is we're trying to get the meat out of the freezer, get it prepared, enjoy the meals that we like right away, and then Jessica can take it to a vacuum chamber, seal up the rest of the food, put it away, and we can use it again later this winter when it might be a little bit harder or colder or whatever to go out and smoke the meat. So we get it done now prior to winter. We'll be set and we'll be ready. We'll have some delicious meals even then. So we got our smoker down to 275, just like we want. We're gonna put the pork butts in today. Like I said, I'm gonna use a little bit of cherry wood. We get this going. It's gonna be probably about a 6-hour cook. I'm gonna get this thing up to probably 165, 170, and then I'm going to place it in a container. I'm gonna wrap it, and then I'm gonna push it through the rest of the way to about that 200 mark. And then that's meat. The biggest thing you want is make sure it's just completely tender. You should have no resistance when you use your heat thermometer or anything to check it, almost like butter. So, and then that's when that meat's going to be the best. So go ahead and get going. Big chunk of meat. So we're gonna get quite a bit of smoke going on this thing. All right, Bardo, get out of there. Get out of there. Whoops. Making a mess with this stuff. Okay, we'll see you guys in a little bit. All the way through. Oh yeah, I got the big
What's up, baby?
Do my hammer.
Aaron and Caleb are finishing the woodshed. Tell me, what is this that you got? Can you explain that wood to me?
This is what they call siding.
Siding. Awesome. You're so
So the guy has a lot saw mill, so it's still 1/2 inch. Instead of 2x6, we're only 1/2x6, right? So, and they're rough saw, so it's rough dimensions. It's not dimensional lumber, so a 6 inch is 6 inch, not 5.5. So, the guy cuts it out of a bunch of trees here locally in the area. So we're using that, and then we're going to stain it, and weatherproof it so it doesn't rot.
Nice. But look at how good you guys are at it. Look at your perfect little lines. How'd you figure out how to do that? Tape measure?
Usually what works.
I like your rough end here.
Well, no, it sticks past.
Yeah, the rough cut. I like how it's not all.
Oh, look. Yeah, this is the original how he cut it. But
Yeah.
what it is now my other board will hit here and this one will cover it. So it's not, when you look at it this way, it'll be covered.
Nice.
You're not going to see the other board.
I love it.
Right into that one.
And some of them have some character.
Some of these are pretty cool. They actually got bullets in them.
No way.
Yeah.
From what?
Somebody shooting trees.
Guns.
Guns.
Guns. Thank you. Thank you, Captain Obvious 1 and 2. Well, it's really beautiful. It's going to hold up. How many cords of wood?
About 3.
Stop it. Tell the truth. How many cords, Aaron?
I forget what I measured it up to be, but it's about 12 cords.
About 12 cords. And then the center, though, you can roll the log splitter and all that. Keep it out of the weather.
And then you're not holding 12 cords.
Okay. We'll figure it out, though. Figure it out. Right, Caleb?
Yeah.
Keep nailing, Caleb. You're a good nail gun guy.
And I want the doorway straight.
All right, so we were in here yesterday. The lighting is not great. When we had the house done, so we bought it framed, so the weird hanging lights that we have to plug in were here. And then we had them hardwire just one light per bay because we're not sure how we want to finish this basement. That gives us some time to think about it. So I'm sorry about that, but we tried and plug in some lights. They're fluorescent lights. They make like weird like beams and stuff in the video, but it is what it is. We're doing the best we can with what we have. So we are gonna get started again in the basement today and figure out how far we can make it. If this is your first time joining us, what we were working on yesterday is all of this azure. We have some jars to put away. We started organizing stuff in buckets and pails and so on. And now we have to figure out where to put all of it and organize it here in the basement. So today's organization, we're starting with this new shelf. More and more shelving. I'm not married to the idea of this is the end all be all of where these things will end up going. Like I said a second ago, we are not sure how we want to lay out this basement, but for now, we've got to have some place to put everything. So that's what we're working on. You could even go like this, a top and bottom of each one of these.
Here works too.
That Cody stand?
Stuff cuts are like butter.
Would you hand me my hammer over there, Jessica?
So what's happening is as we're installing this shelf, we the other day bought this stuff, and this is not, if we got a massive earthquake, there's just nothing you can do about that. But we get a lot of small ones, and what we don't want is these shelves to tip, and then we'll figure out earthquake bars for the buckets and those sort of things. So what Caleb's doing is strapping the shelf to the main wall structure.
You need to hold something. You got it.
And then we're gonna go through and strap the shelf along the way. Perfect. Thank you, buddy. So we split the difference between this post and that one because it doesn't line up equally. And that way we could have a little bit of distance.
Here.
Caleb was such a big help in helping me get this shelf together. Normally they are so much easier to put together. I don't know what the deal was with this one. We had to unstrap it to build it, but we decided everything based on the height of the buckets that we have and divided out the shelves that way. So that's just a recommendation, is if you kind of know what you're putting on those shelves, then you can adjust them accordingly instead of everything being even Steven. But then Caleb secured it to the wall again. The next thing that I started working on, and my mom continued to fill bags for me, is labeling the totes that I had begun kind of filling up the day before. We had moved beans into these black bins because they hold more flat Mylar bags of beans than the 5-gallon buckets hold. And so we moved all of that over, continue to organize everything. This takes quite a while, but in the end, it is so easy for me to look at the shelf, know what is where, not go digging through buckets and trying to figure out what I have and how to find it, because I had very broad categories before, like if the bean was black or if it was white or if it was red, and any kind of bean went in that bucket. All right, here's where we're at. We have empty, 2 empty down there. Most of those 2 have spices from yesterday. Here's some buckets, wheats and oats. And corn. Things. What are you doing?
I just, because I can't lift my bags, I just had to scoop them. These are 3 hard red wheats. Yes, I put them straight in the bucket at this point in time, just to make sure mice can't get into the brown bags.
Gotcha.
And they can store them better later.
We still have another bag of wheat over here. We still have oats over here.
225 pounds, and then that's it. To get these in bags.
Okay. We have a few more things to get done. I think Erin is pulling the pork butt off the smoker, so we're gonna get ready for dinner soon. But yeah, let's try and finish up. Okay, to be super honest, decision fatigue has set in. I'm just gonna kind of show you a couple of things if you're looking around going, what the heck is going on? Okay, so new shelf today. I'm loving this, guys. This is beans, peas, lentils. I have a whole box of freeze-dried down there. My mom has a freeze dryer, I do not, but she sent some stuff with Aaron when he moved here in April. I went ahead and moved the oxygen absorbers and the smaller Mylar bags up there. So I still have 3 empties. The quinoa pasta, we just left it in the bags that it came in, but we went ahead and protected it in the bucket. Some empty buckets. These group, I don't know what I'm doing. That's 25 pounds of pinto beans that are in a Mylar bag, some sugars, so on. But right here, we're trying to figure out, do we do another black shelf? Because you can do like 2 deep. The problem was over here, and I'll show you when we get there, it was caving in. So those red shelves just won't hold the weight of the food. Something to know. Don't waste your money. If you're looking at doing food storage, don't get that size shelf. But all of this quinoa, durum wheat, hard red wheat, all-purpose flour, bread flour, oats, different kinds of corn, hard white wheat, so on. So this is all grains and flours. Then we have some sugars and beans, but the shelf is all beans and peas, lentils, that sort of thing. So that's all making sense. All of this is either I need to deal with that, but the rest of this is just empty totes that we moved here with. Christmas, decorations, those sort of things. Empty, empty, empty. This was the shelf that I was supposed to deal with this summer, and I didn't. And it's everything from like their sleeping bags to our packs to like camping chairs, camping rolls. It's turning out to be like mostly camping gear. Even in this, if you watch one of my very, very first videos where I'm camping or where I'm cooking at a dry cabin, which is next door that we had to live in for a while, the stove that I was on folds down, it goes here and we can take that camping. So that's in there. This is the 3 shelves. Somehow the food storage has to go all together though. If that means that Christmas comes here, this goes there, we have to figure that out. These are my rolling can storage. It needs some work, but look, they were so heavy that this popped down underneath and was about to cave in. Now we've gotten it to pop back, but it won't hold the weight of these buckets, guys. So that's not working. And you can see it, just like this light amount of basmati rice here. This is not even full. Barely anything. And that, like, look, from having the beans and the weight on here, so much issues. So, canning jars, my big All-American canner. I haven't had enough of something that I need to pull out the All-American yet, but hopefully we get to that at some point. So yeah, so decision fatigue is a real thing. I can't, like, my brain is just at this point of going, okay, we've done a lot today. We still have some rices that have been packaged that need to be done. Again, this is an Avid Armor Ultra. So I keep getting questions on that, and that's what it is, guys. And then the new grain brand that we got off of Amazon is this Bake Great. USDA organic, Great River, organic milling. Any of those words should work. So, they're all paging me upstairs. I can hear Aaron yell my name. They're ready for dinner. So let's head up and see how that pork roast turned out, and then I'll say goodnight to you. This is why Aaron was shouting my name. He finally made the other door for the chicken coop. Are you ready to put it on there?
No.
You're not? Dang it. I'm ready to see it on there. Fine.
Yeah, look at him out here, Mom. He literally takes away from his fishing time just to make you a door, dude. What a good husband.
What a good husband he is. And then 3 of the sides.
We were tired.
Go, go, go. Ooh. That's juice.
Liquid gold.
All right, why is it in the foil?
I wrapped it up about 160 and pushed it through the rest of the cook. Makes it go a little bit quicker. Look at all that juice. It's gonna be a mess.
Hang on.
Did you just do it? Tough.
One tough cookie.
Oh, it's tough.
Hang on. Now, take this and roll it in. Now, grab you some forks, or
It's gonna be hot.
I can see the steam coming off. You want to look for the fat?
I trim most of it off. How was it?
Get some, baby. It's awful. I hate it. Ooh,
I don't need all that juice in here because you're gonna put that sauce in here too. Huh?
Yep.
You can see the pink, that's the smoke ring that got into the meat.
Oh my gosh. 100%. Amazing. This is only one of the 2 butts. So Erin makes a sauce that we put on it, and it's like, remember the apricot jelly that I made? That is in it with some barbecue sauce and some honey and some apple cider vinegar. Just like a simple glaze. We put that on the meat, and then we're going to package this after dinner and put it in the freezer bags and seal all of that up. And then we will have pulled pork. And it's so easy to heat up in the winter time. So you just take out one of the bags. I put it in a pan, or the other ways we heat it up just on the griddle over there and just kind of toast the meat up. Gets kind of a little crust on it. It's amazing. So we're about to eat this. Made some homemade rolls and used some of the cheese to make some homemade mac and cheese. Yummy, yummy. We are hungry and we are tired. We've had a long day. We've worked really, really hard. So thank you to those of you that have stuck around to the end. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Hello, welcome to the channel. I do hope that you worked on something, that you're staying busy, you're getting after it. If you're interested in how everything turns out around here, if you hit that subscribe button, when you ring the bell, you get a notification and it lets you know that we posted a new video of the things that we're doing on the modern homestead here in Alaska. And when you give us thumbs up and leave comments, those things actually help the channel to grow. It helps the YouTube algorithm know that we're doing a good job. So I do appreciate those of you that participate in that. And if you will leave a comment, tell me where you're from, tell me what you prep, tell me what you have going on, and we'll just continue to lift each other up through all of this. That is excellent. I hope you are blessed. I hope there are blessings pouring on you and that you are able to do for your family what you can. So every bit counts. We have really just trucked away this month because this is new to us, being in the homestead. We've barely been in Alaska a year, and the house wasn't even built when we got here, or finished when we got here. So this is our first real month of really doing this. So thank you, be blessed, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video.